We are in an information war, and we are losing that war. I'll be very blunt in my assessment.
She was so into the conspiracy stuff with Donald Trump, and so how far gone she was, and the Pizzagate, and Hillary's a pedophile, and Obama wasn't born here, and she was, you know, a birther, and how crazy that was. I just knew that this would not end well.
You know, they believed the most outlandish, ridiculous stories, that I was running a child sex trafficking ring out of the basement of a pizzeria. I mean, you laugh, but people...
I'm the leader of a satanic sex cult pedophile ring, and there's 100 plus involvement in this, including CAFCAS, the police, social services, the school, and I'm the leader of this.
Fake news, real gunfire. A North Carolina man arrested in a DC pizza shop after brandishing a gun, telling police he was there to investigate a conspiracy theory called Pizzagate.
What you want in a pancake is to have the consistency of young human flesh.
You want us to cover Pizzagate? We have covered it. We are covering it. And all I know is God help us. We're in the hands of pure evil. I love how the fake news is saying we're fake news, and they're specifically crapping themselves over Pizzagate, and their answer is to say it's all fake. No, WikiLeaks released this. Pizzagate, as it's called, is a rabbit hole that is horrifying to go down. Now, if you're a radio listener, this is a powerful video, but I've had it reposted. This is on Infowars.com. Pizzagate is real. The only question is, what exactly is it?
Is that a gang sign? Have you,
Oh, like you don't know what it is. You don't know what that is.
I have no idea.
You don't know. Jimmy Fallon doesn't know. David Letterman doesn't know.
We don't know.
All the comics and show business don't know what this is. Right? Yeah.
What is it?
Come on, Jimmy. Seriously, the time is up. People are hip to this kind of stuff. I'm here tonight to blow the lid off it, to be the whistleblower. I'm sick and tired of the secrets and the lies. It is the secret symbol of the Illuminati, and you're a part of it, and it is the all-mocking tongue.
Pizzagate is real. The question is, how real is it? What is it? Something's going on. Something's being covered up.
These are people that kill women and treat women horribly, and yet you take their money. So I'd like to ask you right now, why don't you give back the money that you've taken from certain countries that treat certain groups of people so horribly? Why don't you give back the money?
The Clinton, when after the invasion, they started a cellular company called Fusion International. To make a long story short, now it's Digicel who is taking over, and his friend Dennis O'Brien has given millions to the Clinton Foundation. In 2010, the earthquake of Haiti, not only American taxpayers, but the whole world has given billions of dollars to the Clinton Foundation for the Haitians. not even 2% of that money went back to Haiti. So, Mr. Trump, we are asking you, begging you, the Haitian community will side with you if one day you ask Hillary Clinton publicly to disclose the audit of all the money they have stolen from Haiti in 2010 after the earthquake.
These are some of the 33 Haitian children an American Baptist group allegedly tried to unlawfully take out of the country on Saturday. Orphans and abandoned children, victims of the earthquake, some as young as 2 months old. The Haitian authorities stopped the bus they were on as they were about to cross into neighboring Dominican Republic. With them were 10 Americans. They are now in police custody. And they reportedly say they were planning to set up an orphanage for the children in the Dominican Republic.
Our understanding was that we were told by a number of people, including Dominican authorities, that we would be able to bring the children across. I understand that. Sir, that's the mistake obviously we made, is we did not understand that there was additional paperwork required.
The group insists this was an act of charity, not profit, with the consent of the children's families.
I saw that family members were giving them away because the parents were dead, and the family members couldn't support them, so the families were giving their children up so they could be cared for and to study.
The earthquake has left tens of thousands of children homeless. And the chaos it brought makes Haiti ripe for human trafficking. That's why the government imposed tight restrictions on adoption earlier this month. Restrictions it says the American group has violated. Zaina Howard.
He was the UN Special Envoy to Haiti, and she was the Secretary of State.
We believe in Haiti's promise.
And together, the Clintons played prominent roles after the earthquake. As for-profit companies and aid organizations rushed in to be part of a $10 billion reconstruction program. Now, new emails between the State Department and the Clinton Foundation, obtained by Clinton's Republican opponents, appear to show that those considered FOB, Friend of Bill, or using their initials, WJC HRC Friends, got special attention from the State Department. Need you to flag when people are friends of WJC, wrote one State Department official to her counterpart at the Clinton Foundation in one of the emails provided to ABC News.
When you look at the records, people who have been contributors to the foundation or have been close with the Clintons who have benefited from reconstruction in Haiti.
The State Department says its only goal was trying to figure out who could best get aid to quake victims as soon as possible. But even before last week's hurricane, we found tens of thousands of people still living in what was supposed to have been temporary shelter. Do you think you'll have a permanent home at some point?
No.
And while the emails do not indicate who did or did not get a contract in Haiti, they do show what happened to those without a connection to the Clintons. Is this FOB? Asked the State Department official of the foundation. If not, they should go to a public website clearinghouse. The foundation told ABC News no special treatment was expected or given in Haiti, or anywhere, says the president.
Nothing was ever done for anybody because they were a contributor to the foundation. Nothing.
One of the biggest beneficiaries of the Clinton reconstruction efforts in Haiti was a Korean garment company recruited to this new industrial park, built at a cost of some $400 million, including almost $175 million in U.S. taxpayer money. The company, called Seya, one of the world's largest garment manufacturers, now has some 9,000 workers in Haiti, and proudly shows off the 2 local schools it built nearby. But the company was selected despite a track record of worker abuse and sexual harassment in Guatemala. Company officials told us those were isolated instances.
We've seen the records. This company has a history of that.
That is not something he is aware of.
I want to thank Chairman Kim and Seya for many things.
Seya later became a Clinton Foundation donor, and its chairman has since helped finance a private business for top Clinton aide Cheryl Mills, who was instrumental in bringing the company to Haiti. Even as the Clintons have been praised for their efforts in an incredibly difficult place to operate, the new emails provide a rare glimpse of the cozy connection between Hillary Clinton's State Department and Bill Clinton's foundation. Mr. Clinton declined to comment for our report, but in a recent appearance, he talked about the issue.
I'm sure we made a few mistakes, but way, way more good than harm was done.
Places, there's like satanic art everywhere. There's art of these people where they're shoving children into women's vaginas. That's why I can't cover Pizzagate that much. Is there any real evidence for Pizzagate? Reddit CEO, fans conspiracy theory flames by banning discussion of it. Yeah, shouldn't do that. I don't know, thousands of emails talking about code words and stuff. I went to the FBI site, I went and looked it all up, and people ask, well, why weren't you on this earlier? We were on it from the beginning. We've been on it the last couple of weeks since the election, but we're fighting on hundreds of fronts here.
President Trump spoke at a rally in Tampa. The crowd was visibly angry at reporters who were there to cover the event and wasn't afraid to show it. Today, the president retweeted some of this video. Also in the crowd last night, people who believe in the QAnon conspiracy theory. QAnon claims that a shadowy cabal within the U.S. government is at war with President Trump and that the president will soon purge the country of these enemies. For more on this conspiracy theory and how it's spread, I'm joined by the NewsHour's PJ Tobia, who's been following this. PJ, first of all, what is QAnon?
So this all started last fall on 4chan, which is an anonymous online message board. And last fall, a user calling himself QAnon began posting little nuggets of information. Q is actually a reference to the Q clearance, one of the highest security clearances in the U.S. government. Q claims to be highly placed in the government and has built visibility into a kind of conspiracy of globalists, a permanent criminal government that's been running the U.S. government for decades. This, of course, includes the Clintons, the Obamas, the financier George Soros, and many, many others. The conspiracy goes on to posit that President Trump will team up with the U.S. military and crush this cabal by throwing them all in jail, starting with Hillary Clinton.
Do they have any evidence that this is going on, that the Obamas, the Clintons are trying to overthrow President Trump?
So what they're claiming as evidence are Q's posts on 4chan, and then it migrated to another board called 8chan. And these are these cryptic little, he calls them breadcrumbs, because that's really what they are. And they're little clues, watch for this, look for that. And people take them and unpack these breadcrumbs and read into it kind of what they will. And things like President Trump's tweets, where it's well known that he misspells things occasionally or maybe uses improper grammar. He says those are actually clues, part of the present actions that the president is about to take to crush this cabal.
So who's on board with this? Who are the people who are following this? We know there were people at this rally last night in Tampa that were wearing T-shirts or holding signs saying QAnon. Who are these folks? Do you have any idea, or how many of them?
When it comes to conspiracy theories or a lot of fringe groups on the right or the left, it's really hard to quantify and get numbers. But YouTube pages where QAnon's breadcrumbs are unpacked and discussed have hundreds of thousands of hits. Twitter accounts dedicated to this have tens of thousands of hits. So there's a lot of folks who are engaging in this content online. Now, some people who are experts who watch conspiracy theories and conspiracy groups say it's probably not nearly the number of people who say believe that the moon landing was fake or that they're a conspiracy about the JFK assassination. But still, some prominent celebrity Trump supporters, like former Boston Red Sox pitcher Curt Schilling and Roseanne Barr, have tweeted and said things positively about the QAnon conspiracy.
And there was one of the people who believe in this, you said, who showed up at the Hoover Dam in June?
Exactly right. In June, a young man showed up at the Hoover Dam, resulted in an armed standoff with law enforcement. He had a sign that said, "Release the OIG report." That was referring to the Department of Justice Office of Inspector General report into Hillary Clinton's use of a private email server. Now, interestingly, when this young man did that, that report had already been released. But QAnon said in a posting that the real report hadn't been released yet and that there were actually other reports, OIG reports, that were much more critical of Hillary Clinton and the Democrats and could result in them getting arrested. And that's what he wanted released.
So, PJ, where does this go from here? Do authorities watch this kind of thing? There's nothing illegal about it, is there?
No, there's nothing illegal about it at all. I mean, they're just talking on social media. But as these people start appearing in the real world, I think we're all going to be watching them much closer. Look, the bottom line about this conspiracy theory is that it's a conspiracy to protect Trump. So things that to the rest of us might seem like bad news for Trump, like the Mueller investigation, they look at as actually part of Trump's grand strategy.